Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a while since I've uploaded, but it's been a very good reason why I've been gone for so long. So normal people, all they would see here is just an old Crown Victoria cop car.
Some people call it a grandpa car.
Right, but we're not normal.
No, we're genetically different.
There's a class called Ford Outlaws that have been running around the entirety of the state of Florida at local short tracks, circle tracks.
Dude, they're growing more than that too. Popping up in Georgia. Had a race at North Wilkesboro.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis is actually where the class came from.
Right, Indianapolis is where they came from.
We modified them a little bit, made them better in Florida.
Right. A reason behind why I've been getting the go-kart track done is because my family and this guy's family right here have a very long tradition of racing in our blood. So it's just best for me and the whole channel to give y'all that aspect of what I go through, just what I've grown up on, you know? I've been going to the racetrack since I was a little kid. This guy right here has been going to the racetrack since he was a little kid.
I've been going to the racetrack since before I was born, literally. Like, in development, like, at the racetrack. Not a joke.
Celebration, baby.
That may or may not be facts. We'll get into that story later.
Right, right. Now, I'm just going to show you the basics of what these cop cars are. Me and Kevin are going to give you the full rundown of what is actually in a stock cop car. So it's kind of cool seeing these before we start, you know, cutting them up.
This is how they come from the police departments. We actually got these cars from a sponsor of ours, Economy Auto Salvage, up in Crawfordville, Florida. They really help us out with a lot of stuff up there. Yeah, these are exactly how they came. They haven't done nothing to them. They still got full interior. We got the perp cage back there. Plastic back seat, minimal everything else, and they're just stock. Ain't nothing trick about them. Can't do nothing to the computers. Criminal POV.
Sir, I'm gonna have your badge number.
My badge number is 24K. Oh, by the way, remember, you can't let yourself out of the back of this thing, so have fun.
Right, I'm kind of stuck, so he might just leave me here. I'm gonna be in here for a while. This doesn't look like the jail. With that being said, let's go ahead and go to the shop, show you what's been going on. And this is mine. Now, obviously we did a lot more than what we wanted to before I was able to video, but we kind of just got into a rhythm of taking everything off, starting to gut, get everything ready.
Everything that's off the car already is, well, not necessarily unnecessary because we need the body panels and stuff. But like, say, the dashboard, you don't need a dashboard for a race car. I mean, that's unnecessary. It's flammable. You can't have that stuff.
Completely unnecessary.
Right. I mean, we got to have a bunch of wires that I don't even want to have.
Right.
But, you know, unfortunately, these computer-controlled cars got a lot of wires to them. So, we're going to be building this thing.
Yep. And
already prepping to put the cage in. Got to
right.
get to the frame so that way you can make a strong cage point. That's just basic knowledge. I did see these lines that I cut incredibly close to with the cutoff wheel at high speed? Yeah, those are fuel lines. I didn't do it. I didn't mess them up. I promise I didn't mess them up. But, you know, got pretty close.
So guys, you're going to be seeing a lot of Kevin on these videos, man. This is not only one of my bestest of friends, but he's my fabricator, so.
And his sister married my brother, so we're brother-in-laws.
Right, so we are brother-in-laws, you know, so it kind of comes just with the package deal. So yeah, guys, you're going to be seeing a lot of Kevin on the videos, man. It's going to be a fun process. And even at the racetrack, you're going to be seeing Kevin at the track as well.
I mean, I don't have a car at the moment. I had one. I don't have one right now. There's a story behind that, but I don't want to get into it. There's a chance I'm building another one, and if that happens, y'all will be able to see that too because, well, he's always here. Yeah, but for right now, I'm just playing fabricator. It's fun. I like building. I like thinking about the building, the engineering.
Not only does Kevin build incredible race cars, he also builds some of the safest race cars that I've seen. So that's another reason why this car is being built in the shop right now.
The family that I come from has built a lot of cars throughout the years. Family dating back racing all the way until like the Great Depression. All throughout the time, we have tried to build the safest cars we could. I remember growing up in the shop watching my father build cars, building the safest cars he could. And I'm trying to continue that as it goes. With race cars, very simple criteria. First, you make them safe, then you make them fast. And then after they're fast, then you can worry about making them pretty. But with these cars, that's another thing, because, you know, they're all about the same speed no matter what. There's not really much fast you can make them once they're built. Right. You're going to get to see me make them pretty, too, because not only am I the fabricator and work on the hard-working bending aspect of it, you get to see the artistic side of it way later on in the process, where you get to see some hand lettering get put into play. I started up a Facebook page for myself, maybe even a YouTube channel soon, Veltman Racecars. You can go look that up, give us a like and a follow. And you'll be able to see some behind-the-scenes aspects of what we're doing here and stuff. And you get to see some of my hand lettering work that I do, which is fun. I grew up watching that too. You know, I like the artistic aspect of it.
So guys, as you've seen on the car, there's no doors or fenders or hood. We got to get these prepped to be put back onto the car, and that's why they're all out here right now. We don't have to really do much to this. We're not really allowed to do much to the hood, so we're going to keep that exactly how it is and just put it back on. We have the fenders inside right now, but there's a couple reasons why we have the fenders inside. One of them mainly being we just haven't brought them outside. But another reason is we're trying to decide where we need to cut these things at to bob them.
Everybody cuts this crap off.
Right.
Because it just hangs too low.
Right.
And it gets pushed back into the tire.
Right.
But like, we're allowed to cut it off across here. So we just got to figure out how high up we want to go with it. Some people take it right straight here.
Right, that's probably where I'm going to end up taking mine, is just straight on that yellow line right underneath it, guys.
Like maybe right here. Right. I don't know. And then we cut these horns off the front too, because that sticks past the hood. The hood only ends right here. Right. Plus, on the inside of the fender, where you can see that line, there's roll cage bars that are going to come up and behind that to stiffen things up. You'll see as the process goes on. Door bars come in later on though.
Okay guys, just to give a little bit of an update on what we've done so far, we've welded the main hoop of the cage in. We've got the halo in so far. The 2 down bars are in. He is actually working on the dash bar right now, and then we're going to start working on the 2 horizontal bars that actually go in between the main hoop as well. One thing I do need to get, guys, is a couple gussets to put into the cage. I haven't gotten those yet, but we did order those today. We should have those during the week.
All right, dash bar's done.
Oh, I guess the dash bar's done. Nice. Put on the light real quick. There we go.
Now, cool. A little bit of cage terminology here. This main bar right here, the one behind the driver, this is the main hoop. Goes up, around, kisses the roof. It's actually welded to the roof. This next bar right here that comes off of the main hoop, forward, around, and back to the main hoop, making a circle above the driver's head, is known as the halo, which kind of makes sense. These are called down bars. Ain't nothing fancy about them. They're just front down bars or pillars, A-pillars. As you can see, they kiss the stock A-pillar of the car, adding strength everywhere you weld that in, and then the dash bars across.
All right, so it is the next morning. We ended up working pretty late last night. We had to end up stopping because we didn't really want to be making a loud ruckus in here while everyone around us is already in their houses, you know, sleeping and everything. So yeah, we stopped at a good time, probably around like 4:30-ish.
4:30 in the morning. Reasonable.
Just a reasonable time. But yeah, no, guys, we got a lot of work done to this thing last night. We got the main hoop in, the 2 down bars, the halo, of course, the middle roof bar. We also did these horizontal bars that are going across the main hoop.
The last thing you saw put in was actually the dash bar.
Right, the dash bar was the last thing that the camera seen put in.
Right, so far since the last update, it's been these 2 horizontals,
right,
this middle windshield bar, and this middle roof bar. Now, these bars are mandatory for running figure 8. The figure 8 type of racing, turn left in one corner, right in the other, X in the center. Intersection, you know, possibility of really hard hits in figure 8. So they want you to beef up the cage a little bit. This is a bar they deem mandatory. A lot of people, though, just take this bar and run it straight. From this point to this point, straight. I, as you can see, have put a bend in it. The reason for this bend is, now if for some reason this car is ever on its side and takes another hit into the roof, because it's a possibility, anytime you have a bend in between two bars like this, if it takes the hit here and it tries to push down on this bend, it's trying to push this main hoop and this halo in opposite directions of each other. Same thing with this middle windshield bar. Let's say a tire and wheel comes off a car which weighs upwards of 60 pounds and it gets driven into. This bend right here, as it tries to push this bend in, it's going to try to push this down, which there will be more bars connecting in here later, and it'll try to push this up. Tying everything together, adding bends like this, making the cage almost round in construction is just beneficial in terms of strength distribution, in terms of getting hit. Because let's face it, when you're building a cage, you plan for the worst and hope for the best. Hopefully you never actually have to use its cage to its full potential, but you need it there in case it's necessary. I mean, I can't think of a better way to describe a roll cage.
No, that's a perfect way to describe it. I feel like you really nailed it. But yeah, guys, that is basically why he puts this peak in here. Very good idea.
There's other things I do that are, small things. I mean, we got our bars all the way up against certain parts of the car and welded to them, so that way, like, the car can't even fold in if it gets upside down. It's not going to cave in any more than this cage. Where other people have a gap between this doubler and their cage, we don't have that. It's just another reason that I really feel safe. I really feel safe calling my cars some of the safest in the state, even though we can't actually prove that. Disclaimer. But it's coming along. Get a little bit more done each day. The next step is it's mandatory that we run an X that comes from up here to down here, tying through this bar and vice versa. So I think that's going to be our next move.
So we're going to go ahead and get started again. Cut some pipe, get it notched, and see if the measurements are right. So it is the next weekend. Obviously, me and Kevin both have day jobs because YouTube hasn't started paying us yet. You know, I got to get to that level. But for right now, I do have a job. So I came back here the next weekend, and Kevin has completely outdone himself with this cage. I'm just sitting here looking at it and completely in awe.
It's done.
I actually finished it. It's done.
It's done.
It's done.
Yeah, it's done to where I started putting a little paint on it because you said I could. Remember how early in the video we were showing the fenders and I said we had to cut certain parts of them out? Well, this is why. These door bars, which protect from a side impact, I run them very much far forward. There are people who complain about how far I run my door bars forward, but I really don't care. This is about driver safety. Bars up here, taking a hit, we'll have to bend here before this stuff bends to get to the driver's feet. Now I know we're on the passenger side, but the driver's side has the same kind of bars on it. The only difference between the driver's and passenger side that you guys can probably see is I played it. That's all solid. And now, if one bar of this door bar system tries to move, all of it has to move, including this bar, which some people refer to as the brain bar. I call it the brain bar. Some people call it the monkey bar. My father calls it the drag bar because it looks like an old drag racing cage. This is essentially to keep the driver from getting run over while in the car. And I know what you're thinking, like, how would a driver get run over? It's happened. Car climbs up on top of another one like this, and tires get in the window opening. So being that the seat is back here, this protects where the driver's seat is. When you have a brain bar, you don't usually run the fly window bar because it takes up room and you need room to get in and out of the car. But we try to close up the window as much as we can to keep stuff from getting in. I mean, that's the whole point of safety here. We've been over this before. Dude, I even did your front bumper.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's absolutely right. Look at this.
We do not heat the stock front bumpers on. These are also made out of the same material that the roll cage is made out of. We reinforce the points where it mounts to the car because the stock bumper is only about yay wide. That's all it is. And if you only have that, you're going to give yourself flat tires over and over again. They don't let us do this to the back. I wish they would. It would save us on rear tires, but that's not my decision to make. So I do what we can with the fronts, making sure that these bars are all the way out to the edge of the tire They tie back in. Everything is gusseted as good as it's allowed to be.
That tire is turned, guys. That's why it's like on an odd angle right now.
Yeah. So I know you're looking at this and it's like, oh, it seems like there's stuff missing, but you know, there is. You don't need air conditioning in a race car, and that's weight, and weight is slow.
There was a whole lot of that we took out of this car, trust me. And we're also gonna be skinning the doors, getting them prepped and ready to be put back onto the roll cage, which is Kevin's favorite part of building a race car.
No,
Facts.
it's not. No,
Facts.
no.
Facts.
Gutting in general is my favorite part of building a race car. I like building the cages. The gutting is annoying. That's why it was nice to actually have somebody who's willing to work on his own car instead of just like handing me money to gut. Because I'll gut a car if somebody pays me, but like, I don't like doing it.
He loves it.
Shut up.
He doesn't like it, he loves it. All right, so that's gonna wrap up the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Also share it if you want to. Not gonna make you, obviously. So I'll see you on the next one. We're gonna be working on the doors, like I said, guys, so stay tuned to that.